Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we're going to be taking a look at a couple more account reviews here that we have in the Discord. After my last video, I noticed these are quite popular, got quite a few views, and since the last ones I've done, a lot of people have been posting in here to get account reviews. So I'm going to just slowly start working my way through them. I don't want these videos to be too long, so I'm going to try and make them a little bit shorter and sweeter on the kind of overall look at it. I will say, when you make posts on here for that, for your account review, if you want them to be looked at, try and give a little bit more detail on like what maybe your Oshis are, maybe your favorite strategy you like to use, whether you're big into like late surges and whatnot, because that can also dictate your choices, versus just a generic, these are my SSRs, what should I do with my cards? Because they can be a little bit difficult depending on like what Umas you have and the direction you want to go going into the future. Just one example being Fine Motion. While being a very good, strong stat stick, it also has a gold skill that's built for Pace Chasers. So it's going to be even more useful to you if you're going to use a lot more Pace Chasers. But let's go ahead and just get right into it. We're going to take a look at this first one here. We have free-to-play account, considering to pull for Fine Motion. They have 52 carats, so by Fine Motion, they should have the 60k if they wanted to go ahead and dump 400 into her. And so let's kind of take a look at the cards we have here. One thing I always kind of look at is the free cards that they have that we've gotten through events to kind of get an idea if they haven't said when they started the game to get an idea. And so when I kind of look at it, I can see they do not have the Summer Power card completely MLB. And I'm not seeing like the Special Week Speed one. So this one's a fairly newer one. And kind of going through it, so they're looking at potentially pulling for Fine Motion. They have one copy of her. And kind of looking at the rest of the cards here. And now, of course, they at least got this event, so they're kind of good for frontrunners if they go with like Valentine's Bourbon or not. Yukino Bijin. But everything else is fairly low. They did get the Marvelous Sunday Power, which is good. Kita Sun Black is MLB, which is a very, very good. But other than that, they are fairly weak across the board on their SSRs. Now, looking at their SRs, because you can still make SRs work in here, they have Shinko Windy, which is a 10% race bonus speed card. Very solid to use and make a new track. Marvelous Sunday Wit at MLB. There's a 10% race bonus Wit card. We have a Nishino Flower Power, 15% race bonus power card. So they kind of have a deck here that they can kind of make work if they wanted to go with like a full race bonus deck. Those ones can get very high stat sticks. One of the negatives with those though is gold skills on the cards are generally not going to be as useful to you, and you're going to kind of have to just deal with a lot of the white sparks. And so on this one, the main thing that they're kind of missing is some of the stronger ones that'll be like universally good through it, like MLB Super Creek. You should be able to use on at least the long and the mediums, and they don't have that one in MLB. Fine Motion is going to be universally good on all of them, and so they're going to basically have 400 pulls they want to use. Now they don't really go into more details on any Umas they want to pull on. Valentine's Bourbon, as someone had mentioned here in chat earlier, which does make sense. You can always skip Valentine's Bourbon now, especially if you're really in need of support cards. And none of these, you feel like you already still have decent enough Umas going into Make a New Track. And you can always get her down the line on a future anniversary banner. Frontrunners are going to be massive, as I said, for League of Heroes, which is going to be something that'll be coming down the line after the second anniversary. And it'll alternate with the Champions meetings. And that'll be basically where Frontrunners are meta, while they will start to fall off on Champions meetings as we get further into the game's life. And so I feel like you have kind of a couple options going here. I know some people are really thinking that you should pull on NTR banner to have a better time in Make a New Track, because your deck is fairly weak for it. And having something like NTR plus your Admire Vega Guts, hopefully if you were to get lucky on her, you can pair her with Admire Vega Groove, not Air Groove. Why am I saying Admire Vega Groove? Air Groove Guts. You have, of course, the Sirius Symbiote Limit Break 3 here, which she's a Guts card that has 3 alongside of course, the free Yukino Bijin, and then Urara, which you should be able to pull her. But I kind of don't like that plan, because then if you're wanting, you have the Wit cards kind of that already make it work though too. So you have Marvelous Sunday, and she's at MLB, so that's a 10% race bonus Wit card. But your Agnes Tachyon's only at Limit Break 2. As someone says, I like egg groove. Okay. But I feel like the problem with NTR is you're going to have 400 pulls and you're really gambling on that banner. You could just get destroyed on the NTR banner. Because if you pull and you don't get a single copy of NTR in those 400 pulls, she's pretty much going to be dead to you in the run. And if you're like that bottom 1% that doesn't get any copies of Admire Vega Guts, then you're just screwed on that card overall, and you just threw away 400 pulls. While Fine Motion, you will be able to MLB her. You do 400 pulls, and you can then get her up to at least Limit Break 2 in a worst case scenario. Hopefully you can pick up some SR cards, because one of the big things you're going to want out of the pulls as well is to hopefully get some of these straggling SR cards to MLB. You don't even have to worry about Agnes Tachyon in this situation if you pull on Fine Motion, because you can pair her with Marvelous Sunday as being like your two main Wit cards for a majority of Make a New Track. And then you can just top off a couple of these other ones. You have Nishino Flower Power, which is good, so you can kind of go that race power direction. And she's going to have future value to you. I feel like NTR is just, you're potentially just destroying your account if you pull on it, because it's only good for Make a New Track. Admire Vega is kind of in the same situation, and Fine Motion is not. Now, you will be a little bit weaker going this way in Make a New Track, but you will be able to make serviceable Umas. It is going to be very free-to-play friendly, as long as you're hitting those race bonus thresholds, and then, of course, if you need a heal, being able to get that heal, which you can kind of utilize borrows if necessary to get that. And with Fine Motion, you could use Fine Motion alongside your Kita-san Black. Kita-san Black is not completely dead in Make a New Track. She just got 5 race bonus. You can pair it with like your 15 race bonuses, like Marvelous Sunday here, Nishino Flower Power, and then make it work with whatever else you need for each race. I feel like this one right here, Fine Motion, is definitely a good pickup, just because it's something that can give you a little bit more flexibility than you already have. That's my opinion. I know some others would probably have differing opinions. You can go ahead and put your own in the Discord too if you're joining in here. My advice is not absolute. It's just my opinion on it, especially as a free-to-play. If you're willing to spend any money at all, though, it's definitely going to be worth it to pick up those selectors to top off a card like Fine Motion or anything else that you get through those pulls to just make your life a little bit better. So that will go that one. We'll go to the next one here. And I'm going to go ahead, for those that are posting in here, what I'm going to do is after I edit this video and post it on YouTube, I'll just put the YouTube video in the comments on this so you can find it easier. If it does get covered, there's so many of them, who knows how quickly I can get through these things. But let's go to the next one here. Need advice on what to pull for and improve on. And so this is where it's kind of, they got details here. Be debating on what banners to pull for support cards. Should I wait for Fine Motion or pull the next track scenario? So this is where it's kind of getting more of the details of the overall state of your account in terms of Umas as well. What strategies you like to use. If you're like all in on late surges and love the gamble of them, that's going to change the opinion versus if you really love front runners and want to heavily invest in them. But I can kind of give some general advice, and we'll go ahead and take a look here. We have a MLB Summer, so you at least started by this summer. Okay, so then you have Marvelous Sunday. Hopefully, yeah, you should have MLB on everything that came after it. So you got Yukino, Marvelous Sunday, Kita-san Black, MLB, really, really good right there. Of course, if you like your front runners, you do have your Mihono Bourbon Wit. Although, if you do want to pull for Mihono Bourbon, that card can't be used with her. And like someone else has said, you can always get her down the line if you have to skip her to make your account a little bit stronger on the support card side of things. Super Creek at 0 limit breaks. Not too big a deal in that sense. You'll be able to pull for her later with Mr. CB if you like your end closers. Okay, Kind of looking here. And actually, I've seen you actually been playing since quite early. You have this card at Limit Break 3, and this is the second free one we got. So that must be when you started there. Rika only Limit Break 2, so she's going to be kind of dead to you going into Make a New Track. Air Groove Guts. So she's 10% race bonus for Guts. You wanted to go the Guts build side of things. You have Serious Assembly. You do have Serious Assembly, but only at Limit Break 2. I don't know what she looks like at Limit Break 2. A little bit weak, though, on the gut sides. I don't know if that's going to be a direction you'll want to go. Yeah, it's only 5% race bonus. Well, actually, you don't get the speed bonus until you max her out, so she's kind of dead to you also because the main reason you take her is for the speed bonus. And you don't even have a copy of Fine Motion. You don't say how many carrots you have here. I will say you will probably need to go kind of with a race bonus, just generic race bonus deck, which is basically just going to be taking like Marvelous Sunday here. I don't know if you have Nishino Flower at MLB. Well, Limit Break 2. So I feel like Fine Motion is a decent pickup. One, you can get Kawakami Princess potentially to help you out as well. Just know you might end up not MLBing her, depending on how many carrots you have, because you have 0 copies of her. But you want to, like, I feel like you're still in a position where you really want to set yourself up for success going into Grand Live. And with Make a New Track as free to play friendly as it is, you can build Umas with decent stats. Where you're going to be a little bit weaker in Make a New Track is going to be the skills. Like, you're not going to be able to control your gold skills as well. But I think you'll be able to make it work to a certain extent. You just want to make sure you're hitting that threshold of around 60 to 65% race bonus to really rack up those stats from doing a lot of races. And then just got to get lucky on the versus mode to at least get the white skills through the track. But I think you will make it fine. I think Fine Motions is a good situation for, or a good pull for you. If you don't MLB her with what you currently have, if you can only hit the 200 or 400 pull threshold, that'll be fine. You just kind of save up until the rerun of Fine Motion and pull on that one and get copies of Fine Motion, Summer Muruzensky, and you'll be much stronger position in Grand Live, and you'll be serviceable in Make a New Track. That's the one nice thing I will say about Make a New Track is everybody's going to be able to get the stats, and then you'll be able to get some skills. And yes, while you're not going to be super strong, because you have the stats, it's going to be a little bit more gambly, even against whales. And so you'll have a lot stronger chance of winning anyway, regardless of your cards, if you can get the stats. So that's what I think you can kind of do is just kind of plan that out. And then you can MLB Super Creek, or pull for MLB Super Creek, hopefully, alongside getting more copies of Mr. CB Wit. So those two banners that are coming in Grand Live are going to probably be your bread and butter of what to pull on. And of course, you're going to want to pull on the Pal Card banner right before, right as Grand Live starts, because you want to get at least one copy of that. It's pretty much mandatory. And that is kind of my thoughts on this one. Man, we're getting these true free-to-play ones. They are a little bit harder to kind of plan out without more details, but I'll give as best of advice as I can on it. I would definitely get advice from others if other people want to post their thoughts in here as well. And we got the last one here, trying to figure out the 2026 pull plan. So 2026 will go all the way through to basically the start of Grandmasters. I believe we're going to start Grandmasters towards the end. So we have, just looking overall, account improvement, willing to spend here and there, but can't whale over everything. Currently sitting at 19k carats. Aiming for Valentine's Bourbon. Still have my SR Crystal, so you'll have 2 of them. And guessing after Valentine Bourbon, should I hold until Fine Motion Summer Ruzensky, or should you consider banners before that? And that's kind of what the video I talked about right before this was, whether or not you should skip or not. And let's see. So yours is definitely a stronger account here. MLB Super Creek and Kita-san Black, as well as Yayano Muteki. I believe she's 10%. Let's see. Just make sure. She's not one I really think about too much. Yeah, she's 10%, and she's max hint levels. And she has It's On, which will no longer be an easily accessible skill, so a very usable card. So you're actually sitting fairly strong there. Do you have anything else? I'm guessing that's your like strongest cards you have shown. Of course, you have Mihono Bourbon Wit for frontrunners. Yukino Bijin, so you have your No Stopping Me card. Very usable in the first Champions meeting, the long one, if you compare it with other stuff, though. You should, I believe, have this one MLB. I mean, all the event cards, I kind of assume you do. Marvelous Sunday MLB. Okay. And then you don't really show your SR cards, which does definitely make it a little bit harder. Hopefully you have most... Seeing your SR cards, I'm going to guess you have a lot of the earlier ones MLB, which means you should have, like, Nishino Flower. You have Urara, of course, everybody can get that. Air Groove's a 10%. You have Yukino, so you could kind of try and do a Guts build, but I don't know if you have Serious Symbole to kind of make it work with having that extra speed bonus. You do have Fine Motion, though, at Limit Break 1. I didn't see that here a second ago. Now, you are polling for Valentine's Bourbon, which is right around the same time, which does make it tough. Let me see. I don't think they overlap, do they? Pretty sure they don't overlap. Yeah, Fine Motion, which is coming up here soon, and where is... Yeah, so Bourbon's dropping this month, and Fine Motion's the beginning of next month. So they're not overlapping anything. Well, the nice thing is Bourbon is first. If you are able to get lucky here, and get Bourbon very early, I think you might have the potential to get 30k carrots. Or since you said you're willing to spend, top it up to 30k. Because I feel like going to 200 pulls and seeing if you can luck out on Fine Motion and then just outright MLBing it, that'll be very strong for your account in general. You already have some solid cards going in, but Fine Motion just makes you even more flexible. Because then you can use that with your other wit card being like Marvelous Sunday, alongside using, of course, Super Creek for like the mediums and longs. You can use her probably for the miles, maybe even the mediums, and can get some strong hints off her. And you just, yeah, you can pretty much wait it out until Grand Live to... Now, you're saying to save up for pulling on that one. If you really want to save to that point, yes. Just because I think you have a strong enough deck to do it. It won't feel as good. You won't be as flexible in Make a New Track. But it definitely can work. And you'll definitely want to pull Mr. CB since you already have Super Creek MLB, so you're not going to want to pull over her on the rerun. So I would say Mr. CB is going to be the big one you want to pick up. So maybe you're onto something to skip Fine Motion and pull on the Summer Ryuzensky banner, just because you're going to want to pull. If you like end closers at all, you're going to want to pull on Mr. CB Wit, and it's definitely a waste to pull on the rerun because you have MLB Super Creek. So I think either way it'll work for you. It just depends on if you really want a lot of flexibility or not in Make a New Track. Because I think you'll be fine. You have the cards to make it through. You'll be a little bit less flexible, if that makes sense. So, but overall, I think your account's in pretty good shape. Valentine's Bourbon will serve you pretty good, as she covers pretty much everything you're going to need. When the Summer Ryuzensky card drops, if you're going to skip it, I guess you could just make it your borrow, because it'll be very strong for Mihono Bourbon. But you already have the cards to kind of make that work anyway. So not too big of a deal there. But that's kind of my thoughts on yours, and that's 3 of them, and we're already going a little bit long on the video. But man, they keep getting added, so I'm going to try and do these like more often and put videos out for them. Just let me know in feedback in the comments on any ways that I can improve on doing these. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.